So, health update. I think it's been like maybe 2 weeks since I last did one. For me, it's morning, but if you are watching in the evening, good evening. But I am drinking coffee. So I definitely think it's been 2 weeks. So, week before last, I had my appointment with the psychiatrist's office. I actually saw a nurse practitioner. I didn't see the psychiatrist. And my hope with that appointment was that she would say, oh, so you've had this reaction to these medications. I think this one would work the best for you. That is not what happened. Instead, I was so upset once again after I left the appointment. I couldn't even make an update about it. But instead, she was like, well, here's the list. And we would just go down the list and I would want you to take them for 3 months each. I'm not taking a medication that makes me worse than I am right now. The Prozac I took for 2 full weeks and was so dizzy and nauseous, I could not even drive my car. So no, I'm not going to stay on a medication for 3 months that is making me so sick, I can do less than what I'm able to do. So I wasn't happy about that. And then she tried to say that I was just too focused on fibromyalgia and that I just needed to go to counseling. What I'm focused on is the perimenopause that has made fibromyalgia worse. But the problem is that a lot of medical practitioners do not have updated training on perimenopause. I'm also learning they don't have updated training on ADHD and autism in women specifically. They do not have updated training on Ehlers-Danlos or any of the connective tissue disorders. Their training back when they got training was that it was rare. And since 2018 or 2019, Ehlers-Danlos has not been considered rare. It is a common syndrome that has just been misdiagnosed for years. So, and I know it is impossible to keep up on the latest research on everything, but also if you're not able to keep up on the research, listen to your patients and then maybe take your lunch break to read up on the thing that they're telling you. Because they are living in their bodies. They've done hours and hours and hours of research before they've come to you. They probably know what they're talking about. Anyway, the ashwagandha was working well by the time I went to see her anyway. And so she said, I'm going to leave this open that if you want to come back, we will prescribe you an antidepressant. But right now, since you're handling this with the ashwagandha and the counseling, I'm going to let you keep doing that. So that was how that went. It didn't go well. I mean, she was pleasant. It wasn't like she was nasty or anything, but that comment about the fibromyalgia, that really bothered me. I had told her that I'd had it for 26 years and raised my kids by myself and ran a business and that this was different. It wasn't the fibromyalgia. So for her to specifically say, well, it just seems like you're really focused on your fibromyalgia. No, I'm focused on the fact that I've gotten so much worse, that I managed this for 20 plus years, and the last few years now, I'm not able to work. I'm not able to keep my house clean. Anyway, so that didn't go well, but then I had counseling this week, and the counseling program I was in is just an 8-week program that your doctor can put you in to get you help immediately because waiting to get into an actual counselor can take so long. And this psychiatrist's office that I got into, I was actually referred to them back in August. And then it wasn't until I went through the depressive episode and ended the depressive episode and called my doctor back that she again referred me and they got me in, and it still took weeks for them to get me in. So that's a huge problem with mental health professionals, is that when you're having the problem and you finally recognize you're having the problem, you can't get in to see someone for months. And a lot of times by then you've you've swung out of the problem and you're like, oh, I can handle my own and don't need the help. Or you've taken permanent steps to leave the earth. So I've struggled with it before with loved ones trying to get in for treatment. So I know how long it can take, at least in this area. I think it's probably that way nationwide, but in this area, it can take so long to get in to see somebody. So when you're having an acute problem, an immediate problem, there's no one available to get into. So this program that I was in was an 8-week program with a counselor who I really liked, connected well with. I saw her 3 times. So last week I saw her for the 3rd time. And I said, I'm not allowed to see you again because this was this short program. I need a recommendation for someone who's going to be good for me. Do you know someone personally? So she did. She's given me the name, and today's a holiday for some people. Some people it's not, since it's Columbus Day. Like, one of our local schools doesn't have school today, but the others do. My niece is off work because she's a government employee, but my daughter's boyfriend has to work. So I'm just gonna wait until tomorrow. I'll give her a call tomorrow and see if, number 1, she's taking new patients. Number 2, she takes my insurance. And the counselor I've been seeing gave me a list of people that she knows but hasn't worked with personally to call after this one. And what she's referred me for is EDMR, EMDR, something. And it's a specific trauma-based treatment where you're retraining the brain, because we talked about, trauma and the fight or flight response and how you get stuck in that. And because I'm, as you guys know, I'm at the point where I have no reserves left. I have none. And she said, I can see what's happened with you is that in the past, as you were raising your kids, as you were running your business, as you were just going through life, you would go to therapy long enough to give the tank a release valve. And then that would get you through the next few years until things got bad enough again. You'd go back for a short amount of time. She goes, you need to go for longer. You need to start healing the trauma. You need to get out of the fight or flight response. So it's all connected. The physical health started first. That was a decline first. But because of the physical health, I was in this constant state of stress, always trying to do more than I physically could because I was raising kids and running a business until, the last few years, it just blew up and my life blew up and everything got worse. So it's all connected. So she thought this very specific kind of therapy would work for me. And I'm like, yes, because I can talk to people. I don't need to go. And I think I'm pretty self-aware, but maybe I'm just self-delusional. So I know what my problems are. I even know how they connect to each other. I don't know how to get beyond that. I don't know how to heal, to be better. So that's the plan for this week, is to find a new therapist that would be a more permanent thing than just the short 8-week thing that I just did. And I do have a doctor's appointment tomorrow morning with the new doctor, because if you've been watching my health updates, the doctor I had been seeing, who I wasn't in love with her anyway, she left the practice. She's gone. So, I'm going to go meet the new doctor. We'll see how that goes. I may be, a mess tomorrow because I may just get more medical gaslighting and that's good. Yum, yum. So that's how that's going. Week before last, Mom and Dad came down with a virus, and I got it, but I didn't get near as sick. And I know it's their HIPAA, but I'm sharing this part of it because it relates to me. So Dad ended up, it moved into pneumonia. Mom's not near as sick, but still not 100%. So I've been trying to help them out. when I can't even take care of myself. I'm trying to help them out too. And so I had to take mom to a doctor's appointment, and then my car broke down. So last week was stressful. Last 2 weeks were stressful. But this weekend was so lovely. Both of my sons came over. My oldest came over on Friday night and worked in the garden. They both came over Saturday morning, got, I think, 90% of the garden harvested. My niece and her boyfriend came down Sunday, and she helped mom use up the rest of the vegetables in a massive vegetable soup. And so we're going to eat that for dinner tonight, and then we will store the rest. I don't know if mom's going to freeze it or if she's going to can it, but that got done. And while she was cutting up vegetables, her boyfriend went out and got the dog part of the enclosed part mowed because we have a dachshund, and he's real short to the ground, and when that grass gets a little high, he hates that. So he at least got that part done for them. He also took my car up and got the battery tested, and the alternator and the starter all tested. So he took care of that. My one niece, the youngest niece that just got married, she ran a Sam's Club, and because mom and dad always do a monthly trip to Sam's Club at the beginning of the month, obviously they can't do that because dad does small amounts of things, and then he just gets to coughing and wheezing, and some things he won't. Like last night, trash had to go out. He wouldn't let me take the trash cans out. He's like, no, I got it. Fresh air will do me good. So she went to Sam's Club for them and picked up the essentials. And then my other niece, her oldest sister, made a stop at Bueller's and picked up some special treats for mom and dad. Got them some gluten-free donuts and gluten-free cheesecake that they shared with me. Picked up some sourdough bread because we can tolerate that. And I think a gluten-free pizza for one of these nights when none of us feels like cooking. And then the middle sister of that set of nieces stopped in Saturday night and brought us dinner. She had stopped at one of the steakhouses and brought us steaks and salads and corn, and oh, that was delicious. And then niece from a different sister was the one who came and picked mom and I up when my car broke down. So everybody has really stepped up and helped this weekend. That's been nice. And then a couple from the church brought quiche over that was full of spinach and cheese. It was very yummy. But also a couple from the church had stopped by the week before and brought soup, and it was just a vegetable soup, so I thought it would be safe to eat. She must have thickened it with flour because I got glutened and had a fibromyalgia pain flare-up while also trying to help my parents. So it's been a struggle, but thank goodness the mental health is better. So I've been able to handle it all. Physical health, terrible. Also, temperature, the bottom dropped out of the temperature. We'd had those days where it was in the 80s, and the last few days have been in the 50s, and we actually had to turn the furnace on because the nights have been down in the 30s. And that always makes me hurt worse too. So, but mental health is better. You got to take the small improvements. So I think that's everything going on with my health. I appreciate you guys so much. When you reach out, I just got cat food, cat litter, and treats for the cats. FedEx pulled up. I had no idea it was coming, so pretty sure that was Alice. If it wasn't Alice, let me know who it was, but I'm pretty sure it was Alice because it was the brands that I use. So thank you, Alice, for the litter and the cat food and the treats. They love those treats, and they rarely ever get them, so they were so excited to have those. But when you guys send me emails, when you send me messages on Instagram, when you send me friend mail, it makes me smile. So I appreciate every one of you that is so supportive, and it means a lot to me. And I know sometimes it may feel like, oh, I can't do anything to help her. It's such a small thing. But sending me a message or sending, like Delbert likes to send me links to really good health articles. And I love that because if I can find something new that's going to help me feel better, yeah. So, I mean, you guys are amazing, and I am grateful for each and every one of you, and I just appreciate you. So that's all, And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you are not subscribed. I hope all of you are doing well too as the weather changes and that you're not getting this nasty virus. I was able to throw it off pretty quickly. I have kind of a cough every now and then and a little bit of sinusy stuff, but I didn't get near sick as mom and dad. I'm so grateful that I didn't get super sick. So